Hey guys, it's finally that time of year again where you can bust out the grill, take out your flip-flops, get ready for spring and summer. But first, you want to make sure that daylight savings time does not wreak havoc on your baby's sleep schedule. The best advice that I can give to you today is to prepare ahead of time for springing forward. So I feel like we just fell back in November and now we're already springing ahead. This is crazy, like time is going by so fast. So when I say to prepare ahead of time for the time change, I don't just mean preparing your baby, I mean also preparing yourself. Because with any change in schedule, your baby is going to have an adjustment period. So it may take up to 2 weeks for your baby to, or even your toddler, to adjust to all the changes that are going to be happening. And we'll jump right into it and talk about what we're going to do to make for the best case scenario here. So let's talk about some strategies to ease your child into the new time without creating new bad habits or sleep associations, such as rocking your baby to sleep or nursing your baby to sleep or sitting in your toddler's room or laying in bed with your toddler until they fall asleep. Those are all negative sleep associations. If you have an easygoing child, this may be an easier transition for you. However, if you have a baby that is more reluctant to change, then you're going to want to take this transition slowly and you're going to want to plan ahead, like I already said. If you're not sure if you have an easygoing baby or a baby that's more reluctant to change, here's some things to think about. How does your baby act if he or she misses a nap? How does she act during a growth spurt? And how might she act during a mental leap if you follow the Wonder Weeks? Those are mental leaps that are happening in their brain. If you answered clingy, crying, cranky, fussy, then that means that you're going to want to take this change a little bit more gradually and spread it out over the course of about 1 to 2 weeks. Typically, I would suggest maybe about 1.5 to 2 weeks if you have a more clingy child that is a little more reluctant to change. If you have a very easygoing child, then you probably only need I would say maybe 4 to 7 days in order to make the adjustment smoothly. So here are the things that you need to do. You need to maintain your daily schedule during the day, in the afternoon, and at night. Everything that you do during the day, just keep doing what you're doing. But what you want to do is shift your schedule 15 minutes later every couple of days. So let's say, for example, that your baby normally wakes up at 7 a.m. Well, when you start transitioning to the new time, you're going to want to bump it up to 7:15. Let your baby sleep in until 7:15. And then that'll kickstart the rest of your day by pushing it 15 minutes later. Set your naps 15 minutes later and set your bedtime to 15 minutes later. Let that be for a couple days. Even if you have an easygoing child, only bump it for 15 minutes for the first couple of days. So that might mean maybe you start on Monday and you let your baby sleep in until 7:15, then don't change it again until Wednesday or Thursday, maybe even Friday. If you have a more reluctant child, then you might not want to change it until Friday, Saturday, or maybe even Sunday to another 15 minutes later. So then you're going to just repeat those steps. Keep your schedule the same, just bump it another 15 minutes, then you'll be a half hour ahead, and then another 15, so you're 45 minutes ahead, and then another 15 minutes until you're an hour ahead. And all of this should mesh together so that by the time the time change actually happens, your baby is back on schedule. So then a couple extra things to remember here is that you want to let your baby take the lead. If you try and push the schedule 15 minutes later one day and your baby is just not having it, they're just completely exhausted and you can tell that it's just not going to work that day, then just let it be. And then just try again the next day. Another thing is that babies learn schedules from way early on in life. So like I said before, sticking to your schedule is so important, and I will say that over and over and over again. You need to make sure you stick to your schedule. Another tip is that you should try and get some blackout curtains. We love using Blackout Easy window covers. They seriously black out my son's room like you can't even see your hand in front of your face. But the sun is a major indicator of sleep cues, and when the sun comes up in the morning, your kid realizes, hey, it's time to get up, and when it goes down at night, your kid realizes it's time to go to bed. So especially during these time changes when their melatonin and their circadian rhythms and all these internal clock issues are going on, it's really important to have some sort of blackout system in your kid's room so that they're not waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning when the sun comes up. I hope that these tips were useful. Remember, just go with the flow, know your baby, and know how how quickly you can push your child into a new routine or how slowly and gradually you might need to take it. But I really hope that these tips helped. If you do need some more information about sleep training or just healthy sleep habits, please get a hold of me. I am a certified pediatric sleep consultant and I am passionate about helping families sleep through the night. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and I will see you next time. Bye!